Alright guys, how's it going? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see, we're back with another R6 video. If you saw the last video, we went ahead and picked up this engine from my buddy, from his old crashed R6. So this engine is supposed to have built internals, or at least rods and pistons should be built on this. It even says right here on the side of the motor that it was built by KWS, which is like a local Carolina tuning company, I'm pretty sure, that builds engines. If you can see right here, that engine that's laid out on the side right here is what we got from this bike. And our crankshaft right here had a little bit of scoring and damage on it. What I was gonna do originally was I was just gonna polish that crankshaft or get it machined or maybe even get a new crankshaft and then replace the broken connecting rod also and just put that engine together how it was. But I think this is going to be a better option. I was getting a lot of questions like, why don't you just throw this engine into the bike? The reason is, when my buddy was racing this thing on the track, it was slightly smoking. So what that probably indicates is that the piston rings were starting to go out. If this engine does have built internals and it's in good shape, I might as well just go through this engine, replace all the gaskets, maybe do the bearings, do the oil rings, and then this engine should be nice and solid and good to go. We're going to go ahead and pop this valve cover off, and just like that engine, we're going to just start going down and disassembling, and we're going to see what's inside this engine. So let's get it. Alright, so if you look right here, that's what I was talking about. It says Blackwell KWS. I don't know, I think that's like the last name of who built it, and then the KWS is the performance motorcycle tuning company. If you look in here, this intake side looks ported. It looks like they polished the intakes and they look super smooth. Let me try to zoom in so you can see. Look at that. It's like nice and polished over there. Compared to this head, if you look in here, that's all like rough from the casting. You can kind of see it right there. And if you look in there, these valves look cleaner on the intake side of the engine. So we're gonna compare the heads and just end up using whichever head looks better. Same with like the bottom end, the gearbox and all that, because I'm pretty sure it's all interchangeable. It's pretty much the same generations. Alright, so I'm not going to go as in-depth with the engine disassembly. Basically the same thing as I did in the other videos where I disassembled that. So if you want to watch those videos are in more detail. The first few parts. Start by taking the coil packs off. Pop those suckers out. Oh. There we go. Those are the coil packs right here. And again, like the other engine, we're going to stay super organized when we're disassembling. We're going to use these little plastic trays, Ziploc bags, just stay super organized. I'm super hyped to find out what's inside because this is basically a mystery engine. My buddy doesn't know what's in there. I don't know what's in there, but hopefully we have built internals. So let's find out. What I'm going to go ahead and do next is take out the spark plugs. So check this out. This is the exhaust cam right here. Boom. That thing's out too. Alright, so just to show you, this head is in pretty good condition, guys. Check this out. Everything looks pretty clean. There's no scoring on the cams, really. I already have them all packaged up in bags, but the cam's look in great shape. All we have left holding this in is just the head bolts. So we're going to go ahead and take those off in that pattern. And we're going to pop the head off and we're going to see what's inside this engine, guys. So let's get it. Alright guys, so all the head bolts and everything holding the head in is out. Now we're going to pop the head off and we're going to find out if this is a built engine, if it's bored out. We're going to find out what it has in the internals. Alright, so I had a motor mount in the way, but let's go ahead and boom. Check that out, guys. She is off. Let's not lose that little guide. Alright guys, so I'm pretty sure that this engine is bored out. So we're at 67.6 diameter right there, 67. Let's measure this one just in case. As you can see, both of those cylinders are at 67 millimeters. And if we go over to this engine block and measure these cylinders, as you can see, these are at 65, 65. Those are 67. They're 2 millimeters more in diameter. But yeah, even if I measure these pistons right here, we're around 64-ish, 64.4. And if I measure one of these pistons, it's at 66. So we're definitely 2 millimeters bigger per cylinder. So I'm pretty sure that this is bored out to like a 636. And these pistons do look different than those OEM pistons. So I'm pretty sure, guys, we have like a fully built and bored R6 engine, which is super hype. So now that the head is off, we're gonna go through the head, make sure everything's good. I mean, the head looks super clean, to be honest. We're gonna go ahead and flip the bottom end just like we did with that. And we're gonna pop off the oil pan, and then we're going from the bottom, check the bearings, pop out the pistons just so we can check all the ring clearances and things like that. Since this is bored out, we're just gonna have to do a full overhaul of like the gaskets and the oil rings, and then put this engine back together, and we're gonna have a beast of an engine for this bike. If you can see all my organization right here, those are the head bolts, the oil pan bolts, the cam cap bolts, spark plugs. Just make sure you stay organized. And we're pretty much ready to pop this oil pan off. Hopefully not going to be any metal shavings in this oil pan, because this engine is in better condition, and hopefully there's no spun bearings. So let's go ahead and pop this oil pan off, and let's see what's under there. Alright, so that's what an oil pan should look like without any gunk and grime and grease. This is nice and fresh, just how we want it. Check that out. And now you can see the bottom end of the engine. If we zoom in a bit, there's still some stuff in the way that we gotta pop out. Everything in here is looking pretty good. So we don't have any metal shavings or pieces of bearings in there, so that's a good sign. The oil pickup looks nice and clean, just how we want it. That's good. From what I can see here, these are definitely upgraded pistons and rods, because the bolts are way different from that engine. So that's a good sign. Alright, so I got the water pump off the side of the engine. We have to take the oil cooler off too. Gonna have to take the clutch off before we split it. There we go. Ooh, that looks like an aftermarket clutch, guys, too. Check this out. I don't know if you can zoom in really, but look at that. That looks like an aftermarket clutch too. Awesome. So let's go ahead and pop this clutch out, take the basket out, and we should be able to split the case in half. And of course, all these clutch spring bolts came out easily, and then one of them had to have stripped. Crazy. Oh my god, are you kidding me? So of course, guys, we love stripping bolts. So if you can see this little Torx bit in here, somehow one of them was over tightened and it stripped, so I had to hammer in a Torx bit to one of these spring bolts, clutch spring bolts. But it looks like we have upgraded springs as well as like an aftermarket clutch. I don't know if it's like a Chinese clutch, but it says Yo Dine, some Chinese sounding name. Alright, so as you can see, now we're going to take off the bottom end bolts that hold the two parts of the block together. And if you look closely, these are numbered too. And like 2, 1. Also, here's a quick diagram for reference. There you go. So we're going to go ahead and take these bolts off, and the case should split open, and we're going to see what's inside, guys. Let's get it. Let's see what pistons those are, what rods those are. I'm super hyped to see these internals. When you're taking these bolts off, you want to make sure you're cracking them and just loosen them a quarter turn at a time, and that's it. Oh, there we go. There she goes. Check that out, guys. That's our bottom end. That's our crankshaft. We're gonna go ahead and inspect that right now. Everything looks really fresh, and these are definitely aftermarket connecting rods. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got the engine laid out on the table. The head's right here. Both pieces of the bottom end are right here. I was gonna take the crankshaft out. The reason I can't take the crankshaft out is because these bolts are 12-point bolts. So if you can see right there, that bolt right there. And all of my sockets, they are, for the smaller sizes, they're all hexes. And when they get into the bigger sizes, they're the 12-point ones. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to go get 12-point socket that's gonna fit onto here to get those off so I could pop the pistons out. The bearings on this engine look pretty good. There's like some slight wear on them, but no scoring on the crank, on the bearings. So the bearings look good, but I'm still probably going to get new main bearings and rod bearings. As you remember last time, those 12-point bolts that were holding the pistons in, so I couldn't get them off because I didn't have the right sockets. But now, thanks to Amazon, look at that. So this should fit on these bolts perfectly. Look at that. Fits on there perfectly, guys. And we can finally pop these pistons out and get this crankshaft out of here. So alright, so I loosened up all the bolts. Let's go ahead and take them out and take the caps off and get the pistons and crankshaft out. You want to make sure you have your pistons in order and like you remember what cylinder they came from, because you don't want to mess that up. Look at these bolts. Super high-end bolts. And keep it organized. The pistons are already labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's pretty cool. There's like a little engraving on whoever built it last. Babies are on there. Check that out. Bearings look, there's a little bit of slight wear, but nothing bad, no scoring that's deep or crazy. Pop this out. But yeah, guys, there's our crankshaft. Let's go. It's out. This is the big reveal of what these internals are. I could already see that these are aluminum pistons. Oh, we're gonna have to pop it out the other side. I'm stupid. Hold up. Alright, here we go. Piston number 1, guys. Definitely aluminum pistons and forged rods. This is all aftermarket. And you can see right there, these are JE pistons. Oh, this is what the rods are. They're Carrillo or Carrillo. I don't know how to say it. Carrillo rods. Damn, guys. We have some good internals. Ah! So hyped. Yeah, look at this piston. This is the one that was like looked like it was running hot. It looked like it's some oil starvation or something. Look at this. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna clean all them up and see. Good thing there's no like major scoring on it, but I don't know why this one looks all like that. Alright guys, check this out. I have the engine completely taken apart now. Check this out. But yeah, everything looks good here. Our crankshaft is out. The crankshaft journals look pretty damn good. There's no major scoring or anything like that. So here are our pistons. And they're definitely aluminum aftermarket pistons with forged rods. Look at this, Carrillo rods. Super nice. These are super lightweight. Pretty much all we have left to do now is just to do a deep clean on the whole engine, all the parts. But other than that, once everything's clean, we're gonna have to size up our bearings because these are aftermarket connecting rods. Yeah, so usually there's like a specific way to match your main bearings and connecting rods with your crankshaft, and there's like a little number on your engine case. But since these are aftermarket connecting rods, I'm probably gonna go off of what bearings these are, and then I'm also gonna get a micrometer and measure the journals and do all the calculations of the oil clearances. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure the journals, measure the connecting rods, and then I'm gonna measure the bearings and then do the calculations to find the oil clearances. Or I might just use Plasti Dip and see. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with the bearings. I'm gonna have to make sure we have the proper oil clearances when we put this engine back together. Pretty sure this is a 636, it's bored out to a 636, but we're gonna have to get the proper oil rings because these are bigger pistons. They're not stock Yamaha size pistons. Like if you look at this is a stock engine that I have right here with stock pistons, and you can even see, I'm gonna do a little comparison. You can even see there's a slight difference. You can't really see it on camera, but there is a very, very slight difference of diameter with these pistons. This is what a stock piston looks like, and this is what one of these aftermarket pistons looks like. Big difference, guys. Look at that. These are way nice. These look like Ferrari, like race pistons. There's a slight issue with cylinder number 4. As you can see, all the oil kind of caked onto there, and my buddy did say that it was slightly smoking oil, and especially at startup. So what that means is that the piston rings on this 4th cylinder were on their way out or damaged. And if you can see, by the color of that bearing compared to all the other bearings. That bearing looks like it was either like not getting enough oil, or it was overheating, or there was some kind of issue, but it looks way darker than all the other bearings. Alright, so I hope you guys liked that video. We got the R6 engine disassembled. I'm super hyped that it's bored out, and we have forged internals. We have the billet pistons, and we have the forged connecting rods. That's super sick. In the next video, we're going to clean up all the carbon buildup off the pistons, as you see right here. We're going to just get everything deep clean. We're going to get everything cleaned up and get it ready for reassembly. Scotch brite all the surfaces, get them all smooth, get all the old gasket material off, and make sure everything is fresh. And I'm going to figure out what bearing sizes I'm going to need, what oil rings I'm going to need. Yeah, pretty much we're going to get everything ready for the build. So hope you guys like this video. Give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.